top of the day, beautiful people. Let's adjust my volume. Aaron, you got school? You got school? Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Where you going?
To Western Branch to visit. And I always do. Had a conversation with Mr. Grady and everything last time.
Don't get yourself in trouble. You don't belong to that school anymore.
And I gotta go to the side by getting my certificate of completion.
Okay. Top of the day, beautiful people. It is Monday, December the 2nd. December the 2nd, y'all, 2019. Day number 8, year 2. Today we're reading Genesis 22, 23, and 24. So let's get started straight away here. Hey, girls. Hey, Auntie Nikki. Hey, girl. Hey, Tiffany. Hey, girls. Hey. All right. 22. Today, let's just point out something, right? This particular text that we're reading today, of course, we know we're reading about Abraham about to sacrifice his son. He's not going to actually sacrifice him, but I think something that people skip over is the whole test part where Yahuwah said, I am testing you. It was like at the beginning, this is a test. And for some reason, nobody ever brings that out. It's like, oh, well, what about... they try to relate the whole Abraham about to sacrifice Isaac as a human sacrifice, and they try to relate that to the human sacrifice of JC, of Jesus Christ. I'm like, okay, Isaac didn't sacrifice his son, and it clearly said Yahuwah was testing him because we know that human sacrifice was not allowed by him. He constantly said it. Nobody paid attention. Even Abraham himself, when Isaac wasn't a baby. He was actually, I forget how old he was. He was definitely weaned off his mother. He was about a teenager. I want to say about 12. Let me see if I can calculate it as we read it. But he definitely was about like a tween or something like that by this time. So, but he did. It was like a big beacon. This is a test. This is a test. This is a test. He didn't actually kill him. Even Abraham said, son, Yah will provide the sacrifice. When even Isaac knew. Isaac said, Father, where is the animal for the sacrifice? Abraham said, son, Yah will provide it. Okay, so let's get started. I just want to bring that out. Test. This is a test, okay? All right, Genesis chapter 22. And it came to pass after these things that Yah did tempt Abraham and said unto him, Abraham, and he said, Behold, here I am. And he said, Take now thy son, thine only son Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee into a land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains which I will tell of thee. And Abraham rose up early in the morning and saddled his ass and took 2 of his young men with him, and Isaac his son, and clave the wood for the burnt offering, and rose up and went into the place which Yah had told him. Then on the 3rd day Abraham lifted up his eyes and saw the place afar off. And Abraham said unto his young men, Abide here with the ass, and I and the lad will go yonder and worship and come again to you. And Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering and laid it upon Isaac his son. And he took the fire, he took the wood of the burnt offering and laid it upon Isaac his son. So his son had to be old enough and strong enough to carry wood. All right. He took the fire in his hand. Wait, hold on. I misread that, y'all. Hold on. Let me read that again. And Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering and laid it upon Isaac his son. And he took the fire in his hand and a knife, and they went both of them together. Yeah, I read that right. Okay, yeah. So they took it all, everything, and they went up to the place of the where the sacrifice was going to take place. And Isaac spake unto Abraham his father and said, My father. And he said, Here I am, my son. And he said, Behold, the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for a burnt offering? And Abraham said, My son, Yah will provide himself a lamb for a burnt offering. So they both went of them together. They came to the place which Yah had told them of, and Abraham built an altar there, and laid the wood in order, and bound Isaac his son, and laid him on the altar upon the wood. And Abraham stretched forth his hand, and took the knife to slay his son. And the angel of Yahuwah called out unto him of heaven, and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, Here I am. And he said, Lay not thy hand upon the lad, neither do thou anything unto him, for now I know that thou fearest God, seeing thou hast not withheld thy son, thine only son, from me. And Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, behind him a ram caught in a thicket by his horns. And Abraham went and took the ram, and offered him up for a burnt offering in the stead of his son. And Abraham called the name of that place Jehovah Jireh, as it is said to this day, In the mount of Yahuwah it shall be seen. And the angel of Yahuwah called unto Abraham out of heaven a second time, and said, By myself have I sworn, saith Yahuwah, for because thou hast done this thing, and hast not withheld thy son, thine only son, and that in blessing I will bless thee, and in multiplying I will multiply thy seed as the stars of heaven, and as the sand which is upon the seashore, and thy seed shall possess the gate of his enemies. And in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed, because thou hast obeyed my voice. So Abraham returned unto his young men, and they rose up and went together to Beersheba, and Abraham dwelt at Beersheba. And it came to pass after these things that it was told Abraham, saying, Behold, Milcah, she hath also borne a child unto thy brother Nahor, Huz his firstborn, and Buz his brother, and Kemuel the father of Aram, and Chesed, and Hazo, and Pildash, and Jalap, and Bethuel. And Bethuel begat Rebekah. These 8 Milcah did bear to Nahor, Abraham's brother, and his concubine, whose name was Rumah. She bare also Tebah, and Gaham, and Thahash, and Makkah. All right, chapter 23 of Genesis. And Sarah was 107 and 20 years old. These were the years of the life of Sarah. And Sarah died in Kirith Jath-rabbah, the same is Hebron, in the land of Canaan. And Abraham came to mourn for Sarah and to weep for her. And Abraham stood up from before his dead, and spake unto the sons of Heth, saying, I am a stranger and a sojourner with you. Give me a possession of burying place with you, that I may bury my dead out of my sight. And the children of Heth showed Abraham, saying unto him, Hear us, my lord, thou art a mighty prince among us. In the choice of our sepulchres bury thy dead. None of us shall withhold thee from his sepulchre, but that thou mayest bury thy dead. And Abraham stood up and bowed himself to the people of the land, even to the children of Heth. And he communed with them, saying, If it be your mind that I should bury my dead out of my sight, hear me and entreat for me Ephron the son of Zerah. Put it back, it don't belong to you, and no, you can't have any. So don't even ask. And he communed with them, saying, If it be your mind that I should bury my dead out of my sight, hear me and entreat for me to Ephron the son of Zohar, that he may give me the cave of Machpelah, which he hath, which is in the end of his field. As for much money as it is worth, he shall give it to me for possession of a burying place amongst you. Quit going through it. You ain't gonna find nothing else up there. What? What? What do I always keep it, Jeremiah? No, I like you don't know what nothing else is in this kitchen. And you got a piece of lint in the back of your head. And Ephron dwelt among the children of Heth, and Ephron the Hittite answered Abraham in the audience of the children of Heth, even of all that went in at the gate of his city, saying, Nay, my lord, hear me. The field give I thee, and the cave that is therein, I give it thee. In the presence of thy sons of my people, give it I thee. Bury thy dead. And Abraham bowed down himself before the people of the land. And he spake unto Ephron in the audience of the people of the land, saying, But if thou wilt give it, I pray thee, hear me. I will give thee money for the field. Take it of me, and I will bury my dead there. And Ephron answered Abraham, saying unto him, My lord, hearken unto me. The land is worth 400 shekels of silver. What is that betwixt me and thee? Bury therefore thy dead. And Abraham hearkened unto Ephron, and Abraham weighed to Ephron silver, which he had named in the audience of the sons of Heth, 400 shekels of silver, current money with the merchant. They was literally trying to give it to him, but he was his friend, just bury your wife. Don't worry about that. But Abraham insisted. He said, no, tell me how much it is. You know, I want to give you what your land is worth. I don't want to take it from you. I don't want you to just give it to me. I want to pay you for your land. And the field of Ephron, which was in Machpelah, which is before Mamre, the field, and the cave field that were all in the borders round about, were made sure unto Abraham for possession in the presence of the children of Heth, before all that went in at the gate of his city. He probably had foresight, because had he not have purchased it somewhere down the line, just like they was arguing over that well where the king, he said yesterday, he said, I didn't even know about this until today. You know, so there wouldn't be any kind of a mix-up, so to speak. No, Abraham paid for that. He gave him 400 shekels of silver for that, you know. So it was probably foresight, he was thinking. And after this, Abraham buried Sarah, his wife, in the cave of the field of Machpelah before Mamre. Hold on, pause. What you about to do? What y'all not about to do is about to use up my ice. Don't get brand new.
It's for your sister. She's sick.
Oh, okay. Cece can have some ice.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, because I use it for my smoothies, and for some reason, go ahead, get TT ice. Only TT better get ice. I'm using my crushed ice for my smoothies. I'm sorry. And after this, Abraham buried Sarah, his wife, in the cave of the field of Machpelah before Mamre, the same as Hebron, in the land of Canaan. And the field and the cave that is therein were made sure unto Abraham for possession of a burying place by the sons of Heth. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Jeremiah, open it up. Get that fig syrup that I done got from Dr. Sabi. Yep, that right there that I gave to Aaron. Yep, TT, pour you a half a cup full of that. Go get that to TT. Half a cup full. Y'all gonna be quarantined. Last chapter for the day, y'all. I'm sorry. Chapter 24 of Genesis. And Abraham was old and well stricken in age, and Yahuwah had blessed Abraham in all things. And Abraham said unto his eldest servant of the house that ruled over the land he had, Put, I pray thee, thy hand under my thigh, and I will make thee swear by Yahuwah, the God of heaven and the God of earth, that thou shalt not take a wife unto my son from the daughters of the Canaanites, among whom I dwell. But thou shalt go into my country and to my kindred, and take a wife unto my son Isaac. And the servant said unto him, Peradventure the woman will not be willing to follow me unto this land. Must I needs bring thy son again into the land from whence thou camest? And Abraham said unto him, Beware, thou that thou bring not my son thither again. He said, no, I want you to go there and get a wife for him and bring her back here. He said, but what if she won't come? Well, don't take my son. And Abraham said unto him, Beware thou that thou bring not my son thither again. And Yahuwah, God of heaven, which took me from my father's house and from the land of my kindred, and which spake unto me, and that sware unto me, saying, Unto thy seed I will give thee this land. He shall send his angel before thee, and thou shalt take a wife unto my son from thence. And if the woman will not be willing to follow thee, then thou shalt be clear from this my oath. Only bring not my son thither again. And the servant put his hand under the thigh of Abraham his master, and sware to him concerning the matter. And the servant took 10 camels of the camels of his master, and departed, for all the goods of his master were in his hand. And he arose and went to Mesopotamia unto the city of Nahor. And he made his camels kneel down without the ditty by a well of water at the time of the evening, even the time that women go out to draw water. And he said, O Yahuwah, God of my master Abraham, I pray thee, send me good speed this day, and show kindness unto my master Abraham. Behold, I stand here by the well of water, and the daughters of men of the city come out to draw water. And let it come to pass that the damsel whom I shall say, Let down thy pitcher, I pray thee, that I may drink. And she shall say, Drink, and I will give thy camels to drink also. Let the same be she that thou hast appointed for thy servant Isaac. and thereby shall I know that thou hast showed kindness unto my master. And it came to pass before he had done speaking that, behold, Rebekah came out, who was born to Bethuel, son of Milcah, the wife of Nahor, Abraham's brother, with her pitcher upon her shoulder. And the damsel was very fair to look upon, a virgin, neither had any man known her. And she went down to the well and filled her pitcher and came up. And the servant ran to meet her and said, Let me, I pray thee, drink a little water of thy pitcher. And she said, Drink, my lord. And she hastened and let down her pitcher upon her hand and gave him drink. And when she had done giving him drink, she said, I will draw water for thy camels also, until they have done drinking. And she hastened and emptied her pitcher into the trough, and ran again to the well to draw water, and drew for all his camels. And the man, wondering at her, held his peace, to it whether Yahuwah had made his journey prosperous or not. And it came to pass, as the camels had done drinking. Hey, leave it alone, y'all. And it came to pass, as the camels had done drinking, that the man took a golden earring of half a shekel weight, and 2 bracelets for her hands of 10 shekels weight of gold, and said, Whose daughter art thou? Tell me, I pray thee, is there room in thy father's house for us to lodge in? And she said unto him, I am the daughter of Bethuel, son of Milcah, which she bare unto Nahor. And she said moreover unto him, We have both straw and provender enough, and room to lodge in. And the man bowed down his head and worshipped Yahuwah. And he said, Blessed be Yahuwah, the God of my master Abraham, who hath not left destitute my master of his mercy and his truth. I being in the way, Yahuwah led me to the house of my master's brethren. And the damsel ran and told them of her mother's house these things. And Rebekah had a brother, and his name was Laban. And Laban ran out unto the man unto the well. And it came to pass, when he had the earring and bracelets upon his sister's hands, and when he had heard the words of Rebekah his sister, saying, Thus spake the man unto me, that he came unto the man, and behold, he stood by the camels at the well. And he said, Come in, thou blessed of Yahuwah, wherefore standest thou without? For I have prepared the house and room for the camels. Hey, stop it. Y'all too loud, too early this morning. Yeah, I'll give you some in a minute. Hold on. And the man came into the house, and he ungirded his camels, and gave straw and provender for the camels, and water to wash his feet, and the man's feet that were with him. And there was set meat before him to eat. But he said, I would not eat until I have told mine errand. And he said, Speak on. And he said, I am Abraham's servant, and Yahuwah hath blessed my master greatly, and he is become great. And he hath given him flocks and herds and silver and gold and manservants and maidservants and camels and asses. And Sarah, my master's wife, bare a son to my master when she was old, and unto him he hath given all that he hath. And my master made me swear, saying, Thou shalt not take a wife to my son from the daughters of the Canaanites, in whose land I dwell, but thou shalt go into my father's house and to my kindred, and take a wife unto my son. And I said unto my master, Peradventure the woman will not follow me. And he said unto me, Yahuwah, before whom I walk, will send his angel with thee, and prosper thy way, and thou shalt take a wife for my son of my kindred and of my father's house. Then thou shalt be clear from this my oath, when thou comest to my kindred, and if thou give not thee one, thou shalt be clear from my oath. And I came this day to the well, and said, O Yahuwah, God of my master Abraham, if now thou do prosper my way which I go, behold, I stand by the well of water. And it shall come to pass that when the virgin cometh forth to draw water, and I say to her, Give me, I pray thee, a little water of thy pitcher to drink. And she say to me, Both drink thou, and I will also draw for thy camels. Let the same be the woman whom Yahuwah hath appointed out for my master's son. See how specific that was. He asked, and he provided and gave him the sign just as he asked. And she say to me, Both drink thou, and I will also draw for thy camels. Let the same be the woman whom Yahuwah hath appointed out for my master's son. And before I had done speaking in my heart, behold, Rebekah came forth with her pitcher on her shoulder, and she went down to the well and drew water. And I said unto her, Let me drink, I pray thee. And she made haste and let down her pitcher from her shoulder and said, Drink, and I will give thy camels drink also. So I drank, and she made the camels drink also. And I asked her and said, Whose daughter art thou? And she said, The daughter of Bethuel, Nahor's son, whom Milcah bare unto him. And I put the earring upon her face and the bracelet upon her hands. And I bowed down my head and worshipped Yahuwah and blessed Yahuwah, God of my master Abraham, which led me in the right way to take my master's brother's daughter unto his son. And now, if you will deal kindly and truly with my master, tell me, and if not, tell me, that I may turn to the right hand or to the left. Then Laban and Bethuel answered and said, The thing proceedeth forth from Yahuwah. We cannot speak unto thee good or bad. Behold, Rebekah is before thee. Take her and go, and let her be thy master's son's wife, as Yahuwah hath spoken. And it came to pass that when Abraham's servant heard their words, he worshipped Yahuwah, bowing himself to the earth. And the servant brought forth jewels of silver and jewels of gold and raiment, and gave them to Rebekah. He also gave to her brother and to her mother precious things. And they did eat and drink, he and the men that were with him, and tarried all night. And they arose up in the morning. He said, Send me away unto my master. And her brother and her mother said, Let the damsel abide with us a few days, at the least 10. After that she shall go. Then he said unto them, Hinder me not, seeing that Yahuwah hath prospered my way. Send me away, that I may go to my master. And they said, We will call the damsel and inquire at her mouth. And when they called Rebekah and said unto her, Wilt thou go with this man? And she said, I will go. And they sent away Rebekah, their sister, and her nurse, and Abraham's servant and his men. And they blessed Rebekah and said unto her, Thou art our sister. Be thou the mother of thousands of millions, and let thy seed possess the gate of those which hate them. And Rebekah arose and her damsels, and they rode upon the camels and followed the man. And the servant took Rebekah and went his way. And Isaac came from the way of the well, Lahai Roi, for he dwelt in the south country. And Isaac went out to meditate in the field at the evening tide. And when he lifted up his eyes, he saw, and behold, the camels were coming. And Rebekah lifted up her eyes, and when she saw Isaac, she lighted off the candle. For she had said unto the servant, What man is this that walketh in the field to meet us? And the servant said, It is my master. Therefore she took a veil and covered herself. And the servant told Isaac all the things that he had done. And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent, and took Rebekah, and she became his wife. And he loved her, and Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. And beautiful people, that is our reading for today. That was Genesis 22, 23, and 24. We are on day 8, year 2, and it is Monday, December the 2nd, 2019. All right, y'all. Remember, stay safe out there. Stay cool. We got cold fronts coming through. Remember, the world is still on fire, although they're not showing it on CNN. If you're not going looking, the Amazon is still burning. Africa is still on fire. We got weather catastrophes going on all over the world. People being flooded, massive floodings and everything. Like I said, although CNN is not showing you that, you can go to YouTube and look at people's personal catastrophe videos, and you can see the horror in their faces and the screams and stuff. It is sad, people. So pray for the world, seriously, and the different places. Pray for the place where you are.
For other words, jumbled up.
Eat the banana. Get on out of here.
Look, I was just saying, for other words, stay woke, don't be stupid. Pray.
Thank you for your words of wisdom, son. All right, y'all. So with that being said, be safe out there. Love y'all, and may Yahuwah bless us and keep us. May Yahuwah make his face to shine upon us and lift his countenance upon us and be gracious unto us and our households. And may he give us his shalom, or his peace, in all that concerns our lives. All right, y'all. I love y'all, and I'll see you in the morning. Peace.